Good morning. I know you follow this channel because you love village life, and many of you have dreams of one day relocating to the village. In today's video, I'll be talking about everything you need to know and do before transitioning. I didn't wake up one day and decided I was going to the village. It took about 5 years of thorough planning because I knew my new life would come with a lot of changes socially, financially, and even physically. I was eventually going to quit my office job, so I had to think of new ways of making money while in the village. I had to prepare myself for doing things physically other than just working passively in the office every day. And I also had to think about my new social life. How was it going to be? Who was going to be my friend? Would the society accept me, or would I even feel secure in the village? There was so much I had to consider before moving. I'm so lucky I was raised in the village, so the social part was really not a problem for me. I know how to maneuver my ways around the village. I know what to say with the village people. I know just how to win them. My biggest challenge was how I was going to make money while in the village. So I sat down with the little savings I had and drew a plan. I purchased a 1 acre property because eventually I was going to need my own home. I'm lucky I still have my parents, so I have a place to stay while I still build my home. And with the rest of the savings, I started doing different businesses here and there. I started doing boot sales of clothes, which I would import from Uganda. And I also started farming bit by bit. I was just trying my hand on everything, trying to see what would work and what would not work. I even opened a bar, but all these businesses collapsed, and the only thing that remained standing was my sweet potato farming business. The very first time I did farming, I did not even set foot on that farm. I was just sending money and having things done for me, and eventually I would get my proceeds. And I was quite impressed with my first harvest because I had invested not so much on it and I got a lot from it. So that really encouraged me to keep farming and just to go into large scale farming. And I had never stopped. But that does not mean that the only business you can do in the village is farming. There's quite a lot to do. With the devolution of power, there's just so much to do. There are so many people moving to the village. And with the internet, I think you can run any business from right here in the village. It's just funny how when I was growing up as a young village girl, my dream was to one day go to the big city. Then finally I made it to the big city. Then I realized I needed to be in the village. One time I was in a restaurant with my brother. We were having lunch and we looked out the window. If you live in Nairobi, you know how people are always in a hurry. And I guess it's the same in many cities. But where are we rushing to? I asked myself, why are people in such a rush just to die? Why don't we die slowly? And I think that's the point that I really thought I should slow down. And the only way out for me was to relocate to the village. It's quite hard to live a slow life in the city. Many people have contacted me about relocating to the village, and their biggest fear seems to be their access to amenities like electricity, water, security. Well, I live in Kenya, and many villages now have electricity. Most don't have running water, but you have the privilege of harvesting your own water and storing it in ways that please you. And for security, I think villages are the most secure places in any country. Crime normally is concentrated in the big cities. So I've been living here for a very long time and I haven't had an incident of robbery or anything like that. Let's talk about convenience. I'm talking about your nearest grocery store, your nearest gas station. Well, depending on where you live in the village, you might have to drive a long way to get those services. But with proper planning, then you don't have to worry about getting your supplies and the services you need because you can plan to do it like monthly or weekly, whatever works for you. When moving to the village, I'm sure you want to have your life as comfortable as it was in the city in terms of living in a decent house. So it's always very important to invest in a good house. So while you're still in that planning period, you can begin to build your house and don't kill yourself. Just build your dream house, but do it in stages. I started building my own house in 2020. It's not complete and I'm not in a rush. It's not a competition. I'm just doing it at my own pace. So take your time to prepare your dream house, whatever you want in that home. Even Rome wasn't built in a day. As much as it may seem a bit expensive in the beginning, village life comes with a lot of benefits. Benefits you will realize when you start growing your own food and when you get to the point that you have either zero or just a small bill. I always wondered what I would do with my free time living in the village. In the very first days of moving to the village, you will experience a lot of boredom because you don't have friends around and you just don't know where to go and what to do. It's nothing different from when you go to work in a new place. You have to get accustomed to the area and it just takes a little time if you're a social person. I have found very meaningful things to do with my time. Gardening has been one of them. Other than being so therapeutic, I've found it to be a hobby too. I enjoy sowing seeds, watering them, and watching them grow. I love tending to my garden, weeding it, and the best part of it is harvesting. The abundance that comes with these little seeds we sow is just amazing. Every time I grow something, I look forward to the harvest, which happens to be my best part of it all. And there's nothing like eating food you've grown with your own hands. Food you know is very safe, not the food we ate in the cities where we were not even sure of the source. And most of the times we got reports that we were consuming foods that were not very safe. I also keep chicken for meat and eggs. I have cows that provide my milk every day. And all this has reduced my grocery shopping budget drastically. I always suffered acid reflux in the city every time I consumed the vegetables. I think there was just something not right about the vegetables. And since I moved to the village, I have no complaints. I'm enjoying every bit of this journey to being self-sufficient. And I sleep like a child knowing the only bill we have is electricity bill. I'd like to encourage anyone who's looking to relocate to the village. It is a beautiful life down here, definitely the best. All I see around me are happy faces because people have no bills. People eat clean food. We have time to socialize. And there's just so much love around. Most of the foods we eat are very healthy and free. We have access to the internet, electricity, and everything you need to make your life as comfortable as it is in the city. I know many people who are stuck in the city and they can barely afford a meal a day just because they think the village is such an awful place. This is not the kind of situation I'd advise you to hang in there. No, there's nothing to hang on to. You can move to the village and start from scratch. Planning is for people who are already working and have a source of income. The village people are very accommodating, so even if you move to the village without a plan, I think you will not go hungry or miss a place to sleep. In no time, you'll get the hang of it, and life will be so beautiful for you. You won't believe it. There were things I loved so much, like partying, keeping up with the trends, fashion trends, and just anything that was trending. These things have become so meaningless. But that doesn't mean I don't dress up. There are occasions when I feel like just dressing up and showing up and going out there to meet my friends. They say never burn bridges, you might need them. So I still maintain my old friends, and I've been able to also make new friends in the village. The urban centers are usually not very far from the villages. I have to drive about 1 hour to my nearest city, which is not very far if I want to go and meet my friends. So like tonight, I'll be partying with my friends in Kisumu. And I'm so looking forward to this because I haven't seen them in a while. They are still in the cities and I'm here in the village. But keeping in touch with them really helps me and motivates me even to do bigger things, because now they're all beginning to realize that someone can really make it in the village. You remember the first time I moved here, they were all so sorry for me, thinking I had made the wrong decision or just thinking that maybe life had really beaten me. Right now, they're all wishing they could be me, enjoying this simple, quiet, slow life. Thank you for watching my video. It's been amazing hanging out with you, and I hope you are all doing great out there. Whatever you do, please remember to do something that makes you happy. Bye bye for now. I'll see you in the next.